Right, so hello everybody. Right, this is Jing Hao. Right, so this is a book review of this book you can see over here. It is Non-Obvious Megatrends: How to See What Others Miss, Predict Trends and Win the Future. It's a book by Rohit Bhargava. Right, so the question is, what if you could predict the trends that will change your business? Right, so the art of non-obvious thinking requires an individual to be observant. Pay attention to the world and train yourself to notice the details others miss. Be curious, ask questions, invest in learning, and approach unfamiliar situations with a sense of wonder. It requires an individual to be fickle, save interesting ideas for later consumption without overanalyzing them in the moment. Right? Be thoughtful, take time to develop a meaningful point of view, and consider alternative viewpoints. Be elegant, right? Describe ideas or insights in more beautiful, deliberate, simple, and understandable ways. Intersection thinking, right? Trends might offer a signal that you should consider abandoning an existing product line or staying the course in a direction that hasn't paid off yet. Intersection thinking reconnects ideas from unrelated industries together to generate new ideas or products. So, for example, we have junk food plus agriculture is equals to a new idea because it's an unrelated industries, right? For example, we have carrots. Once baby carrots had poor sales, right? Crispin Porter Rugatsky was struck by how much baby carrots and junk food have in common. The truth about baby carrots is that they possess many of the defining characteristics of our favorite junk food. They are neon orange, crunchy, dippable, and kind of addictive. Right, so by building the Eat Them Like Junk Food campaign, sales soared. So translate the successful tactics from one industry to another and apply it. Right. So another example we have to embrace serendipity. Right. So serendipity is when someone accidentally finds something good. Strategically welcome distraction was how Howard founded Starbucks after walking the streets of Italy. While it might seem like an irrelevant distraction, right? It is something that he did, right? So wander into the unfamiliar, always watching the same content so much that Netflix can suggest to you that you might what you want to watch, right? So it is time to wander, right? So wander intentionally to unusual destinations, take a different route, uh, stop by or look at something you usually ignore, right? The unfamiliar opens up our mind and cuts through rigidity, right? Be persuadable, right? Open up our minds. Some point of view might seem contradictory to our own that we find them hard to justify. By putting themselves in other people's shoes and imagining their backstories and reasons for behaviors, we can see the world from different angles, right? So how to use trends? You can engage your customers using a what they call a customer journey map to help you understand where and when in the journey to engage in a trend to improve customers experience and win their loyalty. So share your story, right? So trends can influence how you tell your story. So what is the larger purpose behind why your brand exists? What shifts in consumer beliefs or your industry have made your experience more relevant today? So evolve your story. So the same story, why the question is the mission, why do you do what you do and what you believe in? Positioning. What makes your brand unique compared with that of your competitors, right? Business model, how you charge customers and make money. Products and services, what you sell to your customers, and innovation, what new products and services you may offer. So strengthening your culture, authentic human connection, and having an autonomy over their own time is also trending, right? Develop your career. It can help to make timely new products or service recommendations at work or help you forecast what new skills you might need in the future. So these are users for this. So what are the trends? This is part two of the book. So amplified identity. So as individuals rises globally, individualism, sorry, people are carefully cultivating what they are perceived both online and offline, chasing stardom and making themselves vulnerable to criticism in the process. So there are three things to do. Avoid narcissism bias. Remember that the core of most social media activities is the normal desire to find one's own identity and share it with the world. That's not narcissism, it's human nature. Consider the digital divide, right, which is over here. Be considerate of those who are reluctant to amplify their identities but still want and need to be part of social interactions. Help others craft their identities by, like for example, personal coaches, lifestyle gurus, and self-help advisors can blossom in this case. Ungendering. So there are three things that you could do. One would be remove unnecessary gendering, right? So um, traditional gender divisions and labels are getting replaced with a more fluid understanding of gender identity, forcing a re-evaluation of how we employees, customers, brands, and one another. So removing unnecessary gendering from current products and services, especially how they are packaged and marketed to make them more inclusive and expensive. Number two, encourage non-toxic masculinity. When men or boys express a passion or curiosity for exploring traditional feminine things, avoid making quick judgments and instead encourage them. Have more gender empathy. Gender is more of a spectrum rather than just binary boys and girls. For instant knowledge, right? So as we become accustomed to consuming bite-sized knowledge on demand, we benefit from learning everything more quickly, but we risk forgetting the value of mastery and wisdom. One thing that you can do is speed up your content. With no negative impact to comprehension, speeding up consumption of content may be faster. Offer on-demand learning. So the best way to get instructions is by watching simple, straightforward directions on YouTube. Companies collaborating with experts help create lasting bonds with their customers. Become a deep expert. In a world where people know a little about a lot, those with decades of experience in a trade, craft, or skill will be more valued for their knowledge. If you want to succeed in the coming years, when instant knowledge is likely to accelerate, one way is to balance fast learning with deeper, intentional mastery of a topic, subject, or skill. The revivalism, right? So, overwhelmed by technology and the sense that life is too complex and shallow, people seek out simpler experiences that offer a sense of nostalgia and remind them of a more trustworthy time. Share your history. Capturing stories of your employees working increases engagement and yields company lore that contributes to cultural building, right? So recruiting and training efforts and marketing and PR. So offer a classic mode. So offer a view from the previous mode. For example, Samsung phones to switch to ultra power saving mode, which dumps down your phone and save the battery. Make your experience collectible. So tapping on the human desire to collect things, aspects of your customers that are made collectible will allow customers to come back and again to collect them. Human mode. Right, so for human mode, tired of technology that isolates us from one another, people seek out and place greater value on physical, authentic, and unperfect, quote unquote, unperfect experience designed with empathy and delivered by humans. Communicate in human ways, so that will help you avoid using business jargon or someone who is unfamiliar with the subject. Innovate for humanity, not speed. Sometimes the best innovation is to focus on improving the humanity of an experience rather than making it faster or cheaper. Embrace imperfection. So being unflawed makes you more human, right? Like I make mistakes right now. So sharing your imperfections can offer an authentic and believable reason for someone to trust you because you are demonstrating honesty and vulnerability. Alright, so then we have beyond that we have attention wealth, right? So in the information economy, our attention is our most valuable resource, leading us to be more skeptical of those who manipulate us to get it, and instead seek out and trust those who communicate in more authentic ways.
beware of spectacle backslash. So the cost of disrespecting your audience attention or failing to deliver what you promise will make it hard to earn attention in the future. So make the truth more transparent. So find information sources your customer are most likely to trust and connect with them. Share your backstory. So if you can share your story in an interesting way, show your craft or trait humility and vulnerability, you might be able to interest your current customers or new ones to spend more time and money with you. Right, so next we have purposeful profit. So as consumers and employees demand more sustainable and ethical practices from businesses, companies respond by adapting products, taking stands on issues, and putting purposes first, right? So take a credible position, right? So as consumers and employees regularly turn to organizations with a strong purpose, they will be more exacting of those who claim to have a purpose but don't back up their words with actions. Focus on impact, right? Those who can show demonstrable positive impact on the world will be the ones who inspire loyalty from customers and employees alike. So practice conscious capitalism. So how much impact does an individual have? So as one, we might think that with every decision that we make, it's not that important. But the truth is, with every decision about what we buy and where we buy it, we demonstrate what is important to us and send a clear message to organizations. The way they make their products next time and how they do business will matter. I mean, your decision will matter, right? So next we have data abundance. The growing ubiquity of data and the myriad ways it can be collected raise questions about how to make it truly useful, who owns the data, and who should stand to profit from it. So be worthy of a customer's data. An organization could monetize customers' data by offering transparency, by guaranteeing they will use consumer data in ethical ways and clearly demonstrating value back to their customers. And ask better questions from about your data, right? From your data. Develop a data strategy to uncover what questions you would derive value from answering, and then be thoughtful about how your existing data could be used to answer these bigger and better questions, right? Clean up your data, avoid data pollution, where data overflow too much and it leaves organization confused on what to focus on or prioritize. Data manipulation is about twisting the data to support your own biased arguments. Data sabotage is sharing incorrect or incomplete data with the intent to cause harm. Data contamination is mixing data from various sources, and data expiration it's not frequently updating and it's not current at all. So protective tech, as we increasingly rely on predictive technology that keeps us and our world safe and makes life more convenient, we contend with the privacy trade-offs required to make it work. Be a role model for technology, recognize and appreciate the protection, be more conscious of the tech that offers protection, and demand more transparency. So commerce, right? What is this? As the lines between industries erode, how we sell and buy anything changes constantly, leading to a continual disruption of business models, distribution chains, consumer expectations, and even innovation itself. So find the blur. What would happen if you encounter like put two unlikely models together? It encourages us to think outside our comfort zone and find new ideas in the blur between industries. So some far-fetched ideas might lead to actionable ideas, right? So be strategic, not reactive. You can consider new business models that integrate greater purposes and deliver more robust experience that delight customers. Seek out and support the innovators. Besides looking externally at startups to solve problems, right? Also look within an organization for teams already doing the interesting things and support their initiative and use them as a starting point. So these are the trends that are in um, this book, which is the non-obvious. All right. So with that, this is the summary for today. Right. Bye bye.